Hello and welcome to Gaming Game. My name is Muzz and welcome to my look forward into the world of video games. We have looked back with my favourite games of 2021 and now we're going to look forward to what I am looking forward to in 2022. And as I was going through the list, I was actually surprised at the kind of lack of really big games that are coming out this year. There is a couple, but there's a lot of new IPs, which I like, a lot of indie games, and I am very much excited for a lot of the games that are coming out this year. But these are the particular ones that I want to draw attention to, and we'll just get straight into it with Dying Light 2 Stay Human, which I think is a terrible, terrible subtitle, but anyway. Dying Light was a kind of parkour zombie game made by the people who made Dead Island, and they built upon Dead Island, which was a okay game. The combat was fun, but the story was pretty grim. And they incorporate this kind of parkour element into the world where you're jumping off onto rooftops, you're climbing up buildings. It was really fun. Given a grappling hook, it just makes it even more fun. The combat was still there, still meaty. The zombies were fun to take on. Could be quite overwhelming at times. But then you add in this kind of night mechanic where the zombies at night are a lot more powerful, and it's a lot more like a cat and mouse game where you're the mouse and the super infected, I can't remember what they're actually called. They chase you and they're a lot faster. They can do parkour and stuff. So it really added a new element to the kind of Dead Island brand, if you like. Not brand, gameplay, because Dead Island 2 is still not out, but this is a new IP. So Dead Island 2 looks to build upon that. And the one thing that they're making a big change to is the story, hopefully, because Dead Island 1 story, Dying Light's story was not that good. I remember playing it and I was like, I have no interest whatsoever in what's going on. It was a kind of cliched, kind of you're infected, so you've got to go find a cure. Didn't do it for me, but they're looking to build on kind of the world, and in this city, which I don't actually know, your choices matter. So you get to choose. You get these big kind of choices that basically affect the world. So say you take over, you like clear out a base, and you can either give it to a faction who will give you more water or a faction who will give you more food, and it will change the look. And hopefully they're going to go for more bigger story moments that have some serious consequences down the line. And it's not just that, but the story really needs to be a focus for them, because the gameplay is solid, very, very good, and I think they've got a real winner, and that is coming out February 4th. No games in January that I'm looking forward to, which is actually quite good, because it means I can let the bank account heal a wee bit before I damage it some more. Then we come to the first big PlayStation exclusive of the year, Horizon Forbidden West. Now, much in the same way as Dying Light was, the story of Horizon was interesting in parts. I certainly thought that when you were exploring the ruins of the old world, our world, it was very interesting with going through the factories. You're learning a bit more about how the machines are made. But then out in the world, the stories felt very formulaic, very kind of, you knew what was coming, and it just felt like it was a means to an end to get to the next kind of old world factory part of the story. But the combat in Horizon it's so impactful. The machines are so fun to fight that you really need to be on your game when you're fighting some of them, because they are very, very difficult. And I think this is going to be a graphical showpiece. It already was in the PlayStation 4, had some beautiful graphics, but Horizon Forbidden West I think is really going to show off the PlayStation 5's graphical wise. The underwater sections look unbelievable, and I just think it's going to be another really, really good game. I'm thinking it's going to be getting 8s and 9s. I don't think it's going to be like a absolute masterpiece, but I do think it's going to be a really, really solid game, and I am very much looking forward to it. And that is coming out February 18th. And then February is going to be a tough month. I may have to pick and choose what games I actually buy. Elden Ring also comes out, which, if you know me, I'm a huge fan of From Software's back catalogue. Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne. I haven't played Sekiro, but Elden Ring, it looks to be a much bigger, and I can't believe it's, in fact it doesn't, it's just an open world version of Dark Souls, but Dark Souls felt open world anyway, or it was an interconnected world, which is a better way. So it had levels, but this seems to have like an open plain where you can kind of explore. A lot of the feedback coming out from the beta seems to be really, really positive. Seems to be a lot of, much like Dark Souls was, Bloodborne, a lot more sense of exploration this time, with like tombs and stuff that you can dive into. And let's be honest, if you're into the From Software games, it's just another game that you're going to play, which I hopefully will be able to get. It's just, that's three games in February that are going to take, Dying Light's probably going to take, let's say, 30 to 40 hours. Same with Horizon. Elden Ring, double that. I mean, you're talking about a lot of gameplay in February. So February is going to be a very, very interesting month. And hopefully I will decide which ones to pick. Because Dying Light 2 does have multiplayer, which I think is a big plus for it. Horizon Forbidden West, oh, I don't know. I'll need to decide on that. But anyway, that is the month of February. So a huge month for February. Then we come to March. Now March doesn't really have that much, but there's one game that's kind of caught my eye, and that's Tinytinas Wonderland. Now, Borderlands 1 and 2 are some of my most played games to date. I have completed them many, many a time. I adore them. I think they are, just, unfortunately, they may have started the looter shooter genre. In fact, I think they made it popular, but they done it in a way that wasn't skeevy, the loot was all based on single player stuff, and it was done, the humour's give or take, sometimes you can be laughing your ass off and other times you can be like, no, this is not funny. But I'm interested in this because it's more of a mythical fantasy style setting for a Borderlands game. It's set in this kind of Dungeons and Dragons game that Tiny Tina, who's one of the characters, is running. So seems like anything can. She's the the dungeon master, the DM, I believe that's it. So she can kind of change things on the fly, which I think is a cool mechanic, and it's based off the Borderlands 3 DLC, which I've still to play Borderlands 3. So I think I'll wait for reviews for that one. That one I'm kind of on the fence about getting it day one or just kind of letting it, because there's kind of a huge gap actually. So maybe I could get all three games in February, and then March seems to have a huge gap for Wonderlands anyway. So moving on, that comes out March 25th, by the way. Forspoken, another big first party game for Sony. This one is brought to us by Square Enix. It seems to be, so this girl gets transported to a fantasy land. She's and the breadth of the land, it looks phenomenal, and the movement in it really looks dynamic. It looks like you're on like magical roller skates or something. You can just jump off the highest mountain and kind of land safely. And then the combat, it seems to be like you can only use magic, which I think is an interesting idea. So whether that will involve like a kind of hit and run gameplay where you're trying to like just keep on the move and laying down magic traps or using your powerful spells to attack, I don't know, but I'm going to wait to see more of it. But it's certainly one that I am looking forward to, and that is May 24th. And then there's a huge gap in games that have actually been announced. So then we have Starfield, which is an Xbox One, Xbox Series X exclusive, PC exclusive, and that is by Bethesda. Yes, Bethesda. So kind of Oblivion, Skyrim pedigree. the Fallout 76 was a disaster, so they really need to redeem themselves with this. But there's been very little shown of it, so I don't know what is actually going to be. It's going to be Skyrim in space, I think. What that looks like, I don't know. Obviously, you had Outer Worlds that came out that kind of was a bit more like that, but maybe the planets will be a bit bigger that you can explore. But this is going to be a big one for Xbox, and I don't have an Xbox. I don't plan on getting an Xbox, but if I like the look of this game, who knows? I might actually get it. And then we come to another, and that's coming out November 11th as of this recording. Stalker 2 is another Xbox exclusive. Now, I've heard good things about the Stalker franchise. Haven't played any of them. I like the look of this game. Very methodical, very slow shooter. It's set in Chernobyl, I think, and a lot of radiation. There seems to be a lot of horror elements in there. Comes out December 8th. Again, don't have a Xbox Series X or probably a PC that can play it, but I just want to highlight games that really kind of caught my eye this year or coming out this year, and that was certainly one of them. And now we come to ones that are supposedly coming out this year, but they don't have a date. And the first one is Evil Dead the game. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. Evil Dead 2 is my favourite film of all time. And to play a game with Evil Dead, it seems like it's going to be a mix of the TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead and the movies, which I am down for. Oh, who is it? Is it made? It's either made by the people who made Predator or the people who made Friday the 13th. Or maybe they're the same people, I don't know. But the pedigree's not really there, but it's an Evil Dead game in the year 2022, which I think is very, very cool. So I will certainly be looking more at it. It looks to be kind of in the vein of like a Left 4 Dead multiplayer, where it's like a campaign story and people jump into the Deadites' bodies and take control of them. Might be wrong on that, but that's kind of the vibes I get. So looking forward to that one, just as an Evil Dead fan. Then we come to a very strange one, Ghostwire Tokyo. Now this is horror, action, magic. I don't know what the kind of... I've seen so many trailers for this and I don't know what the game is. It gives me very Evil Within vibes, where I didn't know what I was getting into, but the Evil Within I think was a very, very good game in the end. I haven't played the second one, need to do that. But Ghostwire Tokyo, just the setting, I think the setting and the atmosphere has really drawn me into that game. The visuals especially are very distinct. There is some horror elements in there as well, which I really appreciate. But again, going to wait just a little bit more to see how this game goes. And then we come to Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I'm wearing a Harry Potter t-shirt. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I loved the video games growing up. Specifically, the Philosopher's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets on the PC. I played it on. I played those games. I completed each of them like 10 times. Just kept going through, and I adored them. So that's mainly where this is coming from, a bit of nostalgia, but also it's a RPG set in the Harry Potter universe. I think it's 500 years in the past, so none of the kind of Voldemort stuff really will have an impact on it, which I love that. I love going into new sections of the lore, new sections of the world, and just to if it is what I'm expecting it to be, which is you're going to classes, you're building your magic up, and then you get story missions where you have to use your magic. That sounds fantastic, and the world of Harry Potter is already so detailed, it's so famous that it would be pretty cool to just explore Hogwarts Castle, go to the little village, Hogsmeade, is that it? I think it might be. Maybe I got that wrong. But just a very, very cool concept, and yeah, looking forward to it. Harry Potter films, I like them up to the fourth one, and then I'm kind of out. Third one, Prisoner of Azkaban, is the best. And then our first indie game that's really on the title, which is Little Devil Inside. Now, we've seen gameplay for this. It got a couple of months ago on a PlayStation Live, what are they called? State of Play. And it looked cool. I think from the moment I saw it, it was part of the PlayStation 5 reveal trailer as well. And I am down to give this game a go. It seems like it's you're hunting monsters or something. You've got contracts to do, but there's all sorts of shenanigans going on. The combat looks pretty interesting, very fluid, but also a real weight to it as well. So yeah, I certainly think this will be the indie game that I really want to give a try this year. And then we come to one that's a bit skeevy and a bit shady, but I think just for nostalgia's sake, there is going to be a Pokemon trading card game and a Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game. Now, I think there's been a Yu-Gi-Oh one before, so apologies if there has been, I don't know, but Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were the two card games that I used to collect. I never played, I always collected, had many fights over trading and stuff like that at school because some of the trading was unfair, but absolutely, yeah, adored collecting them, having them, and it would be interesting to actually play them. So I think that's the big, and learn the rules and learn what they were actually meant to be. Oh, I guess not meant to be used for, because I guess the collection is part of the why they were. But certainly learning the game aspect of the card game would be pretty interesting. So that's why I'm interested in that. And then the Outlast Trials. Now, please, Red Barrel Studios, please release this at October. Like, if you can, if you need to delay it to next October. But we need more horror games to be released in October. I don't understand why more horror games don't. Like Resident Evil 8 last year, released in March. It's not a scary month. So Outlast was a really, what am I trying to say here? Outlast was a very good game. I enjoyed the horror aspect of it. The story was actually very interesting as well. Going through the asylum, you're learning more about what's going on. And the antagonists, the big security guard, the two naked guys, pretty intimidating. And then the Edward Scissorhands guy, he was pretty intimidating as well. Just the whole vibe of it. I haven't played the second one, but it seemed like that wasn't as good as the first. I started it, but that might be one for next October or just before, if they have released or they are releasing Outlast Trials. Just another Outlast game. So I haven't read up on much of it about what it's going to be about, but another Outlast game. I'm always down to give it a try. And then we come to the big one, saving the best for last, God of War Ragnarok. God of War, the kind of reboot, unbelievable game. The way they took the kind of action-packed, beat-em-up style gameplay and slowed it down, but still made it as engaging, still made it as brutal. And then they incorporated this emotional story. Oh, just such a fantastic piece of media, of art. It is one of my favourite games, and God of War Ragnarok looks to build on that, and this will be the end of the Kratos, we imagine. This will be the end of a PlayStation icon, and I am very much looking forward to it. It's going to be more of the same, which I don't think is a bad thing. I want to battle Thor, Odin. We're going to get to see a lot of cool, spectacular set piece moments, but grounded in this combat that is just a joy to play. And hopefully the story is going to be just as good, if not better, than the one before it. And I have no doubt that it will be. So that is my games that I'm looking forward to in 2022. Let me know what you think. What are you games looking forward to? That was a terrible sentence. What are the games that you're looking forward to? in 2022. Do you agree with some of my picks, or are you looking forward to some other ones? PSVR 2 might be coming out this year. We don't really know a set date for it, so that'll certainly be something I'll look at. I'll maybe make a separate video about VR games and talk more once we hear more about the PlayStation VR 2. But anyway, with all that said, all that's left to say is any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.